Richie, huge game, I suppose. It's like a cup final. I mean, Premier Division status depends on it. How big is it for the club?
Cullen feels that way this week. In fairness, I think you're preparing it's kind of all or nothing kind of feel about it. So it has that cup final feel about it. But no, look, training's gone well the last couple of days, and I think we're fully prepared now for the challenge ahead of us.
Looking at Waterford as the opposition, obviously you were there on Saturday and you watched them. What do you make of them as a side? I mean, obviously the cup game was a 3-0 win, but do you think that maybe reflects them, or do you think that they could pull off a better result than that?
No, not at all. I think Waterford are a very good side. They've got some really good players in their squad. They've got a lot of Premier Division experience as well. Even you look at the game the other day against Cove, and they're bringing on boys that have played in the Premier Division. So that shows you the strength in their squad. So they're more than capable of going Friday night and winning the game. It's up to us really in terms of how we perform to stop that. But no, look, I wouldn't read too much into that cup game really.
Obviously, you've probably been planning for the playoff for a while. Really, there was a slight possibility up until a couple of weeks ago that maybe it wouldn't be the playoff. But I think everyone, probably including yourselves, were resigned to the fact that there was a huge possibility you would be in the playoff. So, have you been looking at Waterford for a while now? Obviously, looking at all the potential teams that you could have played, Waterford, Cove, and so on, and you've analysed them quite well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we've done the homework on all the 4 teams that were in the playoffs. I've been at games and so on, and watch games. I think most people at our level would do that anyway, and I think I'm sure they've done the same with us as well. And I know Keith Long was at the UCD game. I know Rennie's been at a few games as well. So they'll do their homework as well, and that's part of the job.
Obviously, the club spent 2 seasons in the First Division a couple of years ago. It's not where anybody wants to be really. How much of a disaster would it be to go back down there, and how important is it for a club of Cork City size to stay in the Premier Division? And obviously, the priority is the game on Friday, but to stay in the Premier Division and push on next year and ensure this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, look, I've probably said that since I've come in, is that look, the club is a massive club and it should be in the Premier Division, but shoulds don't always get you there and all that, and there's things this year probably on and off the pitch that we need to get better at and stuff like that, and hopefully that the lessons have been learned. I think the lads have bought into a lot of stuff that we're doing here and all the rest of it, so hopefully that we can win the game on Friday and then push on as a club, because what Friday can do is give us a platform to, as you say, to push on and so on. So that's going to be the objective: win the game, and hopefully as a club then we move forward.
Are you happy with the venue, Tala? Would you rather that it was a game in Munster for 2 Munster teams?
Look, it's probably, you look at it that way, to travel for the fans again and all the rest of it. It's not ideal that way, but then you look at venues and stuff like that, then probably closer and stuff like that. Was their venue suitable, for the size of the 2 clubs and so on. So look, they've made their decision. We just have to go with that, and look, in terms of a pitch and so on, it's a great pitch and all the rest of it. But probably just for travel and all the rest of it, it is a bit awkward, for both clubs,
And you'll be well supported up there. I mean, despite performances on the pitch, the fans have been with you all the way through all season. There's been great crowds in Turner's Cross, and there's a few supporters buses going up now and all on Friday, so you should have a great crowd up there.
Yeah, no, it's like, as I keep saying, they're the best fans in the country. They support us up and down the country and so on, and it's incredible. You look at the First Division last year, we had massive crowds in the First Division, for games home and away and so on, and that's continued this year as well. I know this year hasn't been what people wanted it to be and so on, but they've stuck with us and so on, and we appreciate that, immensely, and it's been great, but hopefully we can give them all a smile on their face on Friday, going down the road again,
And just finally, Richie, for me, is there any worries injury-wise or anything like that?
Kevin Kustovich probably is the biggest doubt at the moment, he's probably the one. We're waiting on a scan result today for him, so he's going to be really doubtful. We've 1 or 2 other lads with knocks and so on, but they should be okay. We'll know Thursday probably on that then, just the 1 or 2 doubts that we do have, that how they'll be. But no, look, the squad is healthy enough, yeah. And
just Barry, 1 or 2 from the players' perspective, I suppose, being such a crucial game for the club, what does it mean to you guys to make sure the club stays in the Premier Division?
Yeah, everything. There's a good group of us who probably came towards the end of that first season in the First Division, and then seen kind of the journey to get to the Premier Division and what it means to people, not just in the club but around the city. So no one underestimates how important it is to keep this club in the Premier Division, and especially us as players. It's our job to go and do that, and keep the club into the position that it is, and hopefully build off that again. So yeah, it's absolutely massive, and yeah, it's a huge game, but as I said, really looking forward to it, and can't wait to get started.
Alright, thanks lads.
Rich, you know, have you thought about your starting 11 at this stage? Obviously you have, but have you decided on it, or are there still one or two little positions up for grabs maybe?
It's close. It's close. Not quite there yet, but it's close. Yeah.
Yeah, scoring goals, Rich, like there's been a big problem for you of late, isn't it? Well, you've drawn 6 blanks in the last 7. Is that a concern going into Friday?
Not really, because we're creating chances. Do you know, look at the games, probably the cup games, Pats. Do you know, the home game is Pats, Derry, the opposition that we're playing, like Rovers. Even at the end of the game, Barry's unlucky not to score there, and so on. So there's been quite a few factors there that's probably been, you know, why that stat is there. But no, look, if I'd be more concerned if we weren't creating the chances, you know. But look, for me, it's hopefully that the boys have been holding on to them for Friday night, you know. And you know, if we do get into them positions, that we have the composure to finish off the moves, you know.
Yeah, I know you were talking about the cup game there. You wouldn't read too much into it, but you started well in that game, and you beat them 3-0 in the end. It was convincing kind of win in the end. Like, do you anticipate like it'll be a different style of game and a different approach to that match?
Yeah, look, I think so. Look, it's as you say, probably looking back in that game in August, that you look at it and probably Waterford were favourites going into the game, but they were bookies' favourites at the night, and you know, and all the rest of it, and we put on a good performance, and we ended up winning the game. This game for me is that I probably look at it in terms of if we perform, I'm confident we can win, but if we don't, it's a game that Waterford can win as well. So it comes down to that really, like, you know. And I'm not saying that because Waterford are a first division side and all the rest of it that we should be winning. We should win if we perform, but if we don't, then they can win, like, you know. So they've got 2 men in charge of them that have vast experience, been around the league and so on. So I know, look, they're going to set up the team to beat us and all the rest of it, and tactically they'd be very spot on and all the rest of it. But look, the boys just have to trust, you know, on their own ability and go to win the game, you know.
Okay, Barry, what's the feel among the players, like in the group coming into it? What's really the talk? Just to do your stuff, like? And
yeah, I think so. All we can do is, you know, control the controllables and do what we can do. You know, obviously the lads have, you know, given us the meetings, getting us prepared for it, and then having good pitch sessions during the week to get ourselves ready. But it's good. Everyone knows what's at stake. Everyone knows how important it is, individually and, you know, for the city and the club. So it's kind of that no one's underestimated in any way, shape or form, and just, I suppose, looking forward to it as well, and going, you know, trying to get that win for us.
Yeah, it's kind of important, like, to finish the season kind of with a bit of momentum. It didn't happen, like, and as I was saying, goals are hard to come by. Like, what's the feeling around that you obviously were hoping to finish strongly in the season?
Yeah. In terms of results, it probably wasn't, but if you do look at the kind of performances, definitely in the last 4 or 5 weeks, I know the Bows game was obviously a blip, but you're probably maybe just trying to get through that without injuries, because you do know you've got a massive game around the corner. So if you do go back to the Pats games, Derry, Rovers, obviously UCD, the performances were really good. We've kind of brought a good level of intensity to them games that we know if we can match that and go one more, we'll be well capable of winning this Friday. So I suppose we're taking positivities from them performances and just kind of hoping to, you know, repeat that again Friday night, and, you know, with a bit more hopefully class to score some goals.
Yeah, just the last one for me then, Barry. What type of game do you expect it to be? You know, from looking at where Waterford are and what they've done, what type of kind of game do you anticipate it'll be?
I think it'll be a good game. If you even go back to last year, I know sides have changed and managers and that, but that kind of rawness of two Munster teams is always there. There's always a good bite in them. You know, we've got unbelievable fans and they bring a good crowd, so it's going to be a good, I'd say, very good contest. Hopefully a good game of ball as well. You know, two teams that, you know, have the quality to actually play ball. So I think it'll be a good game. Really looking forward to it, and yeah, to come out the right side of it is the goal for sure.
And because live on TV won't have any pressure now?
I don't think so. I think everyone knows the pressure of it. Whether it's on TV or not doesn't really matter. It's about staying in the Premier Division at the end of the day. So that's all that you got to think about, and that's all that yeah, that's all that matters to us, is making sure that we are where we are next year in the Premier Division.
Good luck on Friday, lads.
Cheers, thank you.
Perfect. Cheers. Anyone on Zoom want to come in there?
Hi, I will, if it's okay, Aaron.
Yeah, we're going in.
Hi, Richie, how's it going?
How are you, alright?
Good. Just that there are obviously a lot of implications for the club hanging on one game, whether it's, the budget and, potentially jobs for people next season, whatever else. Do you stress that to the players about just how much is on the line, or do you try to shield them from that and just concentrate on the mechanics of the game and trying to beat an opponent?
My focus this week's been on the game, really. Anything else on the outside, that's really, that's for other people to decide and all the rest of it, So like if I take my eye off the ball and if I take my eye off Waterford then for a second, then I'm going down a dangerous road, So look, we'll be just focused on the game, really. The futures and all the rest of it will take care of itself after that,
Sure. And just on Keith Long's point, not necessarily about who's favourites, but is there a point to what he's saying that you've been playing against stronger opposition, so you're kind of hardened in a way that maybe his team aren't, where maybe the Galway games are the only kind of games that they've been really tested in the league in the same way you have over the course of the season? Or?
I wouldn't say that. I think that you look at the game on Saturday, that would have hardened any team, like the pitch conditions and the emotion of being 2 minutes away from winning the game. And I think Keith said afterwards as well that they felt they had to win the game twice, so they're coming into that game on Friday really hardened as well from that, So look, obviously opposition in the Premier Division, you're playing week in, week out, is at a higher standard, and the intensity of games are a bit of a higher standard as well. But as I keep saying, we need to get to that intensity to win the game. If we don't, they've got the players that can hurt you all over the pitch,
Sure. You mentioned Ronan Colin earlier on, like his goals tally is fairly phenomenal. He wouldn't have been prolific in the Premier Division, would have been an okay scorer, but not prolific. How do you kind of view him as a player, and how do you go about trying to stop him?
Very clever with his movements, very clever in around the box, very sharp, and when he gets a chance, he's ruthless, and he is that one when he can drop in as an extra midfielder at times, and he can get them playing, or he can work off the shoulder as well, So no, he's a clever player, and I can see why he scored so many goals this year,
Barry, just one for you, if that's okay. It's obviously been a kind of testing season with a lot of disruption. How challenging has that been for you as players, and you just hoping to get over the line and hoping then for better times ahead?
Yeah, for sure. There's no secret, it's obviously been a challenging season, lots of up and downs, but certainly now is not the time to reflect on that. You go into Friday with a clear mind and a clear head to keep this club where it is, and then you've got 4 or 5 weeks to reflect on the ups and downs of that. But it definitely has been, but it's certainly not the time to think about it or dwell on that too much.
Sure. Thank you.
Look, if that's all right. Hey Richie, John here.
Hi John, how are you? Alright?
Good, thanks. And you?
Good.
Just on your squad, we spoke about Jaden the other night. I presume, is he not with you? Is he staying with your Ireland squad?
We'll see.
Okay. Could be in front.
Could be, yes, we'll see. I watched his game yesterday and he was very good, in fairness to him, and he's really come on, the last couple of months as well, playing to 17s, Irish squad and so on. So look, I'm kind of waiting on 1 or 2 as well, so we'll wait and see how that situation develops,
And overall, you have played a lot of young players recently. Is it a night on Friday for experience and nous?
Yes, in some moments, but in other, you can't beat that raw talent and them boys coming in with. They're coming in with no pressure or anything like that. They're coming just to play. And that way, they've no baggage. Of the season gone as well. So you can look at it both ways, really, John.
And just from listening, the comments the last few weeks, you did mention, you said you felt that the club didn't deserve to be in this position. What did you mean by that?
Just the fan base, really. The size of the club. No, I'm not saying it can happen or can't happen or whatever like that. But it's just the fan base and where we've been in the past and so on. And look, I've no doubt we'll get back there, even if, God forbid, things go wrong on Friday and that. We'll get back to where we've been. It might just delay it for a bit or whatever, but just the size of the club and so on, that we we just need to get better and better and keep building on what we're doing and so on. So look, as I've said, is that the fans here are, you know, they'll come out in their thousands every week and so on, and that, you know, us as football people and stuff, we just need to keep pushing the standards that we get the club back to where it belongs, you know.
And just finally for yourself, Friday could go to penalties. Have you been practicing?
No, not yet. No, we'll practice probably Thursday, I think, you know. So the sessions that we've done a lot of attacking and defending. Done attacking and defending session Monday, Tuesday there. So yeah, we'll look at doing something there maybe Thursday, you know. But it's very hard to recreate it as well with the pressure and all the rest of it, and with the personnel as well. You know, if it does go to extra time, you probably have to make a number of changes anyway. So it's probably be good for all the lads to practice, you know, and that as well, you know.
Very good, thanks. And Barry, just for yourself, I know we spoke to you at the start of the season, and you know the idea of Premier Division football was what you'd work towards. Has it been the experience? Has it been the level that you thought it would be?
Yeah, definitely. It's a brilliant league. It's growing basically every week. You're going to really unique grounds, packed with a couple of thousand people, and it's a competitive league as well. You know, if you look at the margin of games you've kind of won or lost, it's usually max kind of 1 or 2 goals, and in that you probably had chances as well. You know, so it's very tough in that sense. But yeah, absolutely. It's when you're in Ireland, this is the only league you want to be playing in. It's by far much better in terms of not just the football side of things, but you know the actual excitement around games. You see it being on TV now. You see the kind of growth coming into the league, and being a part of that is really obviously quite exciting. But yeah, I suppose from a player's point of view, it's just about performing, and it is the next step, and that makes it more enjoyable as well. So yeah, for sure, it's been a good experience, and definitely one that good to have in your arsenal for sure.
And just finally, I know you had the injury there, and Richie had been carefully managing you coming back. How are you now? I know you would have had a few heavy pitches there the last few weeks as well. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. Yeah, body's good. It was obviously, that was a tough period definitely for me. First injury in a couple of years, probably up there with one of the worst times you could get it as well, when things were probably in the melting pot at that stage. But no, as I said, the last kind of 2 weeks have been really positive in terms of getting a good 60, 70 and then a 90 minutes under my belt. So yeah, no, feel really good, and yeah, body's prepped and ready to go.
So best of luck, lads.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Richie, how are you?
How are things, you right?
Not too bad, thanks. Just a quick one on your current situation. You're still just up to the end of the season. Is there any change on that?
No change. No. So like, I've committed to the end of the season, and you know, hopefully on Friday night that things go the way we wanted to go down here and stuff like that, and then look, we'll see what happens after that, you know. And I've had no conversations or anything like that.
Yeah, do you think kind of Friday's match would have a bearing on your future in any way?
I hope not. I hope that people can see the work that's been done here, you know, and obviously I've come in at a late stage as well. So you know, like probably mentioned on Friday night, it's been probably the most difficult job that I could have imagined to have at this stage of my career, and that whatever picking spirits up and all the rest of it. But I feel that, you know, you look at the performance on the pitch, and the lads have reacted well to what we're doing in here and so on, you know. So look, it's I've enjoyed. I get out of bed every morning. I jump out of bed, and you know, I love coming in here and stuff like that. But I'm not going to deny it's been high pressure, and it's highly stressful at times as well. But look, hopefully that'll be all worked on Friday night, you know.
But enjoyable in the same time.
No, you enjoy it. No, you enjoy it. You know, you enjoy the work. You know, you enjoy going the training pitch every day, and all the rest of it, working with the lads and that, and you know that we're working together for that one goal. You know, and that's to stay in the league. You know, and for us, it's obviously been a difficult season, and it's been a difficult season for myself personally as well, and all the rest of it. But we'll forget about all that if we can pull off the result on Friday.
And just finally, if you do get the win, I mean, what would the overwhelming feeling be? Would it be one of celebration, joy, or just relief?
All of them. You know, obviously you celebrate because of the pressure of the game. You know, it feels, as we said, first question there was, does it feel like a cup final? It probably does, you know, and you've got two big clubs fighting. You know, they'll give it everything on Friday to get that prize of the Premier Division football, but be relief as well, because, you know, as I say, is that, you know, there's a lot of good work being done in here and so on, and that you want to have that platform to push on now as a club, you know.